Hi, this is Keith Stone, the optimistic quadriplegic, coming back with another video for you. We had left off before how I was just starting at Mary Free Bed. And what happens at Mary Free Bed is they meet once a week with all the doctors and the therapists and probably most important the insurance company. And they decide how long is the patient going to be able to stay at the outpatient therapy. And so when I first got there in middle of August, they were talking 10 weeks. And as we heard in my interviews with the therapist, they were just going to try and get me to have life skills enough to get me out of bed, probably with a harness, with a lift, get me into a wheelchair, get me around, maybe feed myself, things like that. And most of all, teach Sarah what she was going to need to do to help me get through. So I've had several miracles along the way that we've talked about. But just to recap, the first miracle was that I was conscious when the accident first happened. So I was able to tell everybody that I couldn't move. So nobody moved me and could have made that a lot worse. Could have even killed me, we found out. Then I'm up in Petoskey, Michigan, where you wouldn't expect the great medical minds to be, but we had Dr. Colin, who is a great surgeon. He made a decision to do the surgery right away, which had he waited, my chances would have been worse. Then we met Ron, who was either real or not real. We talked about that in an entirely separate video. But even though Sarah and I were optimistic from the beginning, even before I was off the vent, talking to Ron gave me great hope and really lifted my spirits. So now we're going to fast forward to the greatest single day that I've had in my journey so far. It was October 13th, so 2 months, 7 weeks after my accident. And at this time, we were scheduled to go home, right at the beginning of November. So what I would do every night, because I would, like I said, they would roll me twice during the night so they would wake me up. So I had some time until I was falling asleep. And what I did every night is I would trace the alphabet with my big finger and my big toe, just to see, just to tell my brain, to tell my nerves that this is what you need to do. So get going. And on that night, it was about, I think it was 2 o'clock in the morning. I moved my big toe, and it moved. And then I moved my other big toe, and it moved. And then I moved my whole foot, and it moved. I mean, all the way up. I could like pinch my knees together. I could even like squeeze my butt cheeks, and they would move. So I couldn't believe it. So everything was under the covers. It was dark in the room. I wasn't sure that it was real, so I didn't wake up Sarah, who was only 5 feet from me. But I was awake the rest of that time, trying to do that. And just as a little background, when you're working in therapy, there's other patients in there, and every once in a while you'd hear like, oh, so and so moved their big toe, and that's a big deal. That's usually the starting point. You would just move one piece, your toe, and work your way up over time. And so for me to move all that stuff was pretty unbelievable. So wake up time was 6 o'clock in the morning, and so Sarah was awake, and I asked her I said, put your hand under my left buttock. And she was very, very hesitant to do that, partially because that's a weird request, but also because a few days before on Caring Bridge, I had complained about how I missed being able to have audible farts, because farts are funny, and I missed not being able to do that. So she did it, and I squeezed my butt, and she could feel it. She knew so it was happening. So she removed the covers, and yeah, my toes and my feet were moving. And at the end of this, I'll show you a video we took of my feet moving. But that was the first thing we ever did. So that changed everything right then and there. So as people came into my room, and obviously I would be excited to share the news to them, and it was such a family at Mary Free Bed that they were as happy as we were that I had made that progress, you know. Lots of tears, lots of hugs. People would say, you know, this is the reason we do this. You know, to be able to see that, and they're all, how incredible it was that I was able to move so much. So for me able to move, you know, more than just my big toe was a big deal. So that accelerated my treatment. Now I wasn't going to just get in a wheelchair and go home. Now my legs could move. It was time to get those legs moving and try and see if I could walk. And in future videos that I'm going to post, we'll see that whole process. It was a 3-step process, but I'll talk about that later. So obviously the next meeting that they had about my condition, you know, it wasn't about me just needing 3 or 4 more weeks and then go home. It was, wow, this guy can walk now, or he can move his legs. Let's see what he can do. So now, you know, we're talking another 10, 12 weeks. The insurance company approved. And so that was a huge miracle. For that to happen, you know, if I had gone home without being able, before moving my legs, it would have been a whole different story. As far as, we still would have been optimistic, still want to tell the story. But I'm doing so much more now. And people that have seen me know that I can move around, and we'll do more about walking way down the road. But anyways, so I'll show you this short little video, and then there'll be some more videos coming out about how we work through training me to walk all over again. Once again, this is the Optimistic Quadriplegic, Keith Stone. Please subscribe on YouTube, and you can also email me if you want at kstonestrong@gmail.com. If you have questions or suggestions for what you want to see, I can do that for you. Thank you for watching.
Right foot.